Yeah, yeah. What they saying? I'm so divine, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines. My mental is parasailing maritime. They say I'm destined to read the palm line. Yeah, I'm so divine, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines. My mental is parasailing maritime. They say I'm destined to read the palm line. Yeah, I'm so divine.
Welcome to the H.G.R.G podcast. We back with another one. What's up? This is Jerry DT. We in the house. What's going on?
What's good, fellas? What's good, fellas? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, y'all.
Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday.
Oh, wow. Look at you putting on the candlelight settings.
Come on, Bob.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? We gotta get.
It's not even Valentine's Day, man. What's up with you?
Well, it's a celebration.
It's a celebration.
That's nice. Where'd you get those from?
Home Depot.
Right.
Home Depot.
Hey, are you looking for sponsors? Oh, no, okay.
So listen.
Yo, Lance, man. It's a new year.
Jerry, you still with us?
Oh, you know I'm here, baby. I'm here.
And I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, Pa.
He messed up the intro for you, Lance. I'm still here, guys. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Cheers to that.
You still don't know about real estate? You don't know whether to jump in. You don't know if you ain't got the right mindset. You don't know if it's the right time. H.G.R.G got you. We just dropped the ebook. Go check it out. It's in the description below.
Appreciate you, Lance. Hey, best friend.
Hey, best friend. Cheers to that. Listen, guys, we always talk about, what good buys look like. We always tell people to buy right, right? We're going to look at the other side. What does it look like to buy wrong? So we're going to talk about that today. We like to give you both sides of everything. So we notice that we speak a lot on one side of that. We're going to speak on the other side as well. What would be just the definition of buying wrong, DT? Just a blanket definition of buying wrong in real estate.
Blanket would be not really doing your research, not knowing your market, expecting a specific return or percentage and not really understanding what the rents compared to pricing and expenses are. I think that's like a very blanket, basic, if you will, answer.
Right.
That's a fact.
If
you don't do your research right, you could buy a house for way over the value that is really the comps say. So now you're not going to be able to sell for a right price to get your money back if you're not doing your right research and you bought way over pricing. So you have to do your research. Research is a key. You always got to do that.
Right, and a good realtor will also help you out with that. Just that way, hopefully they don't want to just sell you any property, right? Just to get it off, just to get some money in their pocket and get that off the books. You see what I'm saying? So you're hoping that they guide you properly, right? But there's multiple ways, guys. I know we speak to a whole spectrum here. So we have people that we work with that have a bunch of investment properties, right? Whether that's in a different state, a different country, same state, but want to learn how we buy and just looking for maybe a different avenue. Maybe they can get to where they want to get quicker,
Absolutely.
So we definitely have a whole spectrum. Then we have on the other side of the spectrum, people that haven't bought anything at all, right? And then you have everything else in the middle. I want you to understand, buying right doesn't mean that you look at your pockets and go, okay, I just want to spend this amount. And then you find a property where you just spend that amount and you think, oh, I won, right? There was nothing more, nothing less that came out of my pocket. I'm good, right? Then you forget about the other side of it. This is a whole equation, right? This is a thing called ROI, a return on your investment. You may have used that money that you plan to move out, right? Because it sounds good. I plan to use this money.
Yeah.
X amount. Oh, I found a property that when it was all said and done, we'll give you everything. Closing costs, everything. It was X amount. It was this is a perfect buy. At the end of the day, that may not be the perfect buy. It may be the wrong buy because there is a lot of research that comes into play, right? There's a whole market we're looking at.
Yeah.
Now, did you pay too much for the property, like just Jerry was saying, right? You got to look at that. Is it hard to rent in that area? You got to look at that. DT has said this on the show, I don't know how many times. 4 houses down makes a huge difference. Why? Because it's not on the corner of that corner store with the corner boys, right? But yet it's across the street, 4 houses down, where it's a lot quieter on that side and it's a lot easier to rent.
Yep.
Because the apartment or the property back is facing that way.
Yes, sir.
Right. So that in itself, is it easier to rent? Is it hard to rent? There's a lot of foot traffic. Is there a lot of traffic, period? Right. Not only that, the big thing we were just saying, does the rent fit? You went in there and we did, if you guys watch one of our episodes, we just had Warren Buffett or whatnot come on. We watching videos and X, Y, and Z, right? And talking about mortgages. He's a is he a billionaire or is he a millionaire?
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett
is a billionaire.
Is he a billionaire?
A multi-billionaire.
Billionaire, bro.
I'm sorry.
Multi-billionaire. Well, he's one of the richest men in the world.
That's when you have money and you don't really care about other people's money. I get you. I understand.
I don't want to misspeak. So he's a billionaire and he's telling you to get mortgages, which just Jerry pointed out, right? But now you got to understand that mortgage game, right? That's a payment that comes out every month.
Right.
So what does the rent look like? If you didn't look at that market, and yes, I'm going to keep bringing you back with me, okay? You spent everything you wanted to spend, right? But now on this side, because the research wasn't complete, you're not getting back what you thought you would get back.
Absolutely.
So you tell me if you bought right or you bought wrong, right? You thought you were going to make... Go ahead.
Okay.
You thought you were going to make 600. Now you make 200.
Right. Not even 200.
Or maybe not even 200.
You make enough just to cover all the bills.
Right.
That is
I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt here, right?
Where, you giving the benefit of the doubt today?
I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt today. That's how I'm feeling.
Okay.
Because the reality is, right, is that you had a game plan to make X amount of dollars. You were watching the H.G.R.G podcast, and they said that ROI in Rochester was X, Y, and Z. So this is what you thought. But you forgot about the back half of it. You forgot about the research over here, right? And let me ask you, DT, how do you go about finding that research? How do you go about your research when it comes to finding rents and looking at areas? What's a pointer that you can give people? I know there's a lot of sauce here when I ask that question. Maybe don't go crazy with the sauce.
Don't listen to him, DT.
You gotta go crazy with the sauce.
Jerry, this is why I always say, bro, are you still with us?
I'm just saying you ain't gotta go crazy with the sauce.
I've never asked Lance if he's still with us. I don't even know why he still comes around.
Sometimes I wonder. Jerry,
drink that tea, bro.
And Jerry, so for Lance to ask that question is crazy. Wow. But nevertheless, if you are in the process of purchasing a property, I'm asking you a question, Jerry, right? When you created your team, you and Lance, hindsight being 2020, what was the most important parts of you creating your team and why? And then tie that into buying wrong or right, please.
So when you don't,
bro, I'm gonna show you how to do this.
That's fine. I'm fine. I mean, that's fine. I'm like, he answered my question. He just created a whole new interview. Yeah, it's not the problem. That's cool. That's cool. No problem.
Best friend. You weren't supposed to say that, best friend.
It's all good. Hey,
when you starting creating a team, it could cost you a lot of money because you could buy wrong and don't have the right people in place to fix your problems or fix the buy wrong that you just bought. So when you start your team, you start to look for stuff that you don't know that they know. Meaning, the neighborhood. Not just because you read the neighborhood, you looked at Zillow, and it looks decent. Those are all pictures. You don't know what's going on. You need boots on the ground.
So
So
So you tell me street view is not enough?
right. So
yeah,
Go ahead.
no, Lance, that was fire. Hey, your best friend. That was a good job.
so pictures are taken every 7 years on Zillow.
Mm.
So when you look at a picture, it was 7 years ago. It just updated this year.
Yeah. So what Jerry was saying, because I'm sure this is people may miss this because he's saying it so nonchalant. Boots on the ground and knowing your neighborhoods come with local affiliation, trust
Yes.
local affiliation, right? You have to vet in whatever market you're going to invest a local affiliate that you feel you're comfortable with their knowledge of whatever neighborhoods, environments, and their analysis of specific properties, whether it's fringe neighborhoods, whether it's A neighborhoods, B neighborhoods, C neighborhoods, ones, 10, sevens, depending on how you value your properties. That analysis is probably, I'd say, 50% to 75% as important as everything else.
I want to jump in real quick. And I want you guys to understand, it doesn't matter if you buy in your market.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking, sometimes we talk outside, we talk out of state, if you even buy in your market and you know the neighborhood,
mm-hmm.
and if you don't buy right, it does not matter.
Right.
Even if you know the neighborhood.
Right.
Or that's a friend's neighborhood because I grew up there. Or this is a better neighborhood. I know this neighborhood. If you do not do your research and you buy wrong, it does not matter where you buy, French or upscale or upper class.
Can I touch on that? It's for the simple fact because, especially newer, and I'm just gonna give like my mindset. I know sometimes it be sounding crazy, but I just think it's a normal person, right? You go in there and be like, "Oh, I could get good rents over here. This neighborhood nice. I know that neighborhood."
Correct.
Ain't no research, you know what I'm saying? But it's your
Correct.
thought because you like, you know what I'm saying? Listen, that neighborhood, I always wanted to live over there.
So true.
And so
Correct.
I know I could get good money.
So true.
We're not talking real numbers. We're not talking analytics. I know I can get good money.
So true. So let me just.
It just don't work like that. But go ahead.
Stories with DT. Today I was on a call with an owner, and this owner's brother-in-law is in real estate and he owns properties in different markets. So this particular owner owns a multi-unit here and he's struggling with it. Before he bought it, he contacted us, talked to us. Do you think I should buy it? What's the neighborhood look like? I gave him the analysis. At the end of the day, I said, do not buy it. It's not a good property. The neighborhood sucks. If you buy it, this is what you're going to deal with.
All that is that's worth everything in the world right there, man.
Bro, it's super important for this specific podcast. So don't skip over that. But that's why I'm giving you this story, because it literally happened today. So he bought it anyway. He ended up buying it, and I told him not to. So this is like 2.5 years later. We managed the property. Okay. So it's been a 2.5 year struggle since he bought it. The only reason why we manage it is because he is a responsible owner. He has all the right intentions. He's not a slumlord and he means everything right. Nevertheless, it's a dope spot. When my father was a kid, it was a drug spot. When I was a kid, it was a drug spot. When my son is a kid, it was a drug spot. When my son's son becomes a kid, it's going to be a drug spot. It's just what it is. Like, this is what you bought. And that's what I explained to him when he bought it. But today, his brother-in-law owns property in different markets. I don't know what kind of properties. I don't know nothing about him. I was on the conference call with him. He tried to tell me that I need to change my vetting process so that I can get better tenants in that property.
He's the seasoned investor, and now he's gonna tell you how to do what you do.
Because he owns
Got it.
60 he according to what he said, he owns 60 plus units in different markets, and he's coming in trying to tell me how to better suit his brother-in-law for this particular property. Obviously, you know, I listened, we talked, whatever. At the end of the day, everything he said, it was like, you have never owned a property like this. And I asked him that, have you ever owned a property like this? He said, yeah, I own multiple multifamily properties. I said, no. I didn't ask you if you own multifamilies. Do you own a multifamily in this neighborhood with this type of traffic? He said, well, I own a couple in Buffalo, but you live in Buffalo. The only way that this property, and I explained this to him, the only way this type of property is going to be successful is if you as the owner go to this property once a week, once every other week, clean up the yard. You tell people when they walk in, hey, don't come in here, you know, and you're super hands-on as like a local investor owner. This is the only way this property is going to halfway work. Right? That's the only way. Okay. Yeah. He was like, no, I don't agree with you, but I appreciate your stuff. Okay, cool. At the end of the conversation, it was like this. So what would you do different? He tells me that he would do group showings on how he would rent out the property. Okay, group showings. What is that going to do?
What to turn more people away at one time? It's
like, and you're already reaching out to the public to say, hey, these properties are vacant. Come vandalize me.
Right.
Do you understand the demographic and what you're doing? Like, you don't. You have no clue. Nevertheless, you know, the conversation ended well. You know, it was like a come to Jesus moment. His eyes were open, a different respect for what we do. And I bring that up to say this: buying wrong, if you don't reach out and speak to the powers that be in that market, whether it's yours or another one, somebody local, boots on the ground, to Jerry's point, that understands what neighborhoods look like, corners look like, streets look like, where the up and coming neighborhoods are, you know, where gentrification is about to be or it's not going to be, right? All that is a proponent of buying wrong.
Right.
100%.
Because the reality is that it's not always just monetary. Right. Like that's why I try to explain to you. Yeah, it may fit your budget of what you bought, but what about everything else? What about everything else? Right. The reality is like, look what he says, you know, about the neighborhoods. If your neighborhood is fringe, but it rubs up against a really nice neighborhood, you might, who knows what happens in the next few years.
Yep.
Right. What your neighborhood may become.
Yep.
Right. So one, you can plan for the future. Two, you can understand that there may be a police presence there because they don't want that shit spilling in to the nice neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? The reality is the reality, right? It's a business. We're going to look at it for what it is.
Yep.
Right. The police don't want it spilling out into the other neighborhoods.
Or some type of like upcoming development.
Or upcoming development. That's very true.
Yeah.
You know, where I live in Virginia, they say that they just did a study that this is the second hardest place in the country to buy a property. And that is because it's for like Gen Z, I believe it was, to complete that sentence. And that's because they're always building out and they're spreading. So Kroger here, you know, there's the new car wash over here, new XYZ, new movie theater here, new shopping center here. You see what I'm saying? So you think you're going out further so that way you buy a cheaper property, and they just keep coming out further. You see what I'm saying? And it's spreading crazy out here.
Supply and demand is real.
Right. And that may be what you want if you got in early, or if you bought right, or if you understood what was going on. You know, it's not a gamble, and it's not like foresight, right? It is knowing what's around and making an educated guess.
What's going on, world? It's the one and only Lance, 1/3 of H.G.R.G. You ain't got your membership yet? Go get you that. We hold your hand from A to Z. Our team is your team. I'm talking realtors. I'm talking financing. I'm talking property management. I'm talking about walkthroughs for your property, giving you the breakdowns, what the rents look like, how much it's going to cost, fixes, everything. We give you everything. Why don't you have yours? Go check us out right now at hgrg.club and get your membership now.
You know,
Right.
if you're, it's funny, right? Because what I'm thinking about is like Dave Chappelle. You know what I'm saying? Gun store, liquor store, liquor store, gun store. Where am I? You know what I'm saying? Like if you're doing that,
In the hood.
and there's a a 12-mile stretch, and you buy in the middle of that, chances are, yeah, your property may not go up for a long time, if ever.
100%.
That's a fact.
100%.
If
100%.
ever. So you got to look at all those things, man. All this stuff counts. Go ahead, Jay.
And I also want you. So we're gonna tell you you have to buy right, but that's not only neighborhood as well. We're also gonna tell you understand that you are not a contractor. Let's say you're not a contractor, because there's realtors, investors that are contractors. I'm not saying that, but let's say you're not a contractor, and you go. That's an easy fix. I can get that done. That looks like paint only. If you're not going to use the right people, just don't buy it.
That's a good
A
point.
house that you could buy for, let's say a good number. You got the number that, like, we're going back to Lance's point. Then you use the money that you had to use. And you thought a couple dollars here, a couple dollars there. And that becomes dramatic.
Yep.
Because you thought you was going to spend 5,000 and
Yep.
the contract told you 35,000.
Mm.
And now you have no way to rent it because it's uninhabitable. You have no way to get it off because you're not going to sell it for the same price that you got it. Because the real seasoned guy will tell you, nah, I take 20,000 because I got to put 30,000 in it.
And you thought it was 5, so
You
took
thought it was 5.
Yeah.
You thought it was a good deal up front. But go ahead.
That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is it's a neighborhood, but you also got to understand there's bills of this business that you do not know what's going on. Get the right team.
Super important.
If you don't get the right team, you're gonna hate real estate, and real estate didn't do it. You did.
By the way, H.G.R.G offers you that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But if you go another route, just make sure that they're stamped, solid in their market. They know the streets. They have a reputation. Research them, vet them. However your vetting process is. Let's not to take over, but let's try to analyze the can you buy wrong and how do you buy wrong, right? So can you buy wrong in the right market? If
Yeah,
so,
you could always buy wrong.
okay. Highlight just a couple of ways, not necessarily going to like details or like situations, if you will.
Yeah, like he said, people infatuated with the Burr method and whatnot. So you try to find the shittiest house in the best neighborhood, right? And then you go in there, and then you went in there with your uncle, and your uncle told you it was gonna be this much to fix it up, and really is not. It's a lot more. It's double what you thought or whatever it looks like. So now you on stuck because now you got a mortgage. And you trying to rent this out, but now you can't rent it out, and you ain't got the money. Now you got to go try to find the money, or you got to do sweat equity, but you're not handy, So now you in the right neighborhood. You found a good pocket, You found a good property. You got what you were looking for.
Yeah, 100%.
But the prices are wrong. You know what I'm saying?
So we'll label that analogy as numbers. Your numbers are wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, your numbers are wrong. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What are common proponents of purchasing wrong? Let me answer that one, please, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Wait, hold on real quick.
Go ahead.
What are some of the common components of buying wrong? DT, can you answer that real quick?
There you go. Thank you. I appreciate you, sir.
No problem.
You guys are idiots, bro. Go ahead.
The common number one is the listing of the property, the numbers that you are sold on paper.
Right.
Number one, most common is the numbers you're sold on paper. When you're buying a property and whatever, if it's vacant or there's a tenant in there, they always tell you this tenant's the best or this tenant's the worst. But if this tenant wasn't the worst, you'd be able to get $1,000 a month.
Right.
Because this tenant's the worst, you're not getting nothing. And then you find out when you evict that tenant and you re-rent it, the property's probably worth $750. Right? Or this tenant's the best. They've been paying rent. They've been here for 17 years. And they've been paying this amount for, they're the best. Always ask yourself, if this property was the best and these tenants were the best, why would this owner sell?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah, if everything's great, why would they sell?
Right.
We've had that conversation, just Jerry. Well, hold on. We've had that conversation.
Yeah.
You know, unless this dude is on his way out and he's 90 or she's 90, or or it's in a portfolio where, listen, this property is really good and the tenant is really good, but that portfolio comes with 5 properties. No 2 or 3 of them are headaches.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's the reality of that as well. Sorry, DT. I'm going to cut you off.
Yep. No. You're good. You're good. So that's the biggest thing. Number 2.
Oh, hold on. Is it the same thing with the rents though? When you're looking up rents, like period?
Right. So yes, 100%. There now, I don't want to like create some like conspiracy theory, but there is such a thing that Joe Schmo pays $1,000 a month in rent, and that's a real thing, right? And how do you officially you're supposed to prove that, and it's supposed to be documented by having what's called estoppel agreements, right? An agreement that documents how much rent the tenant pays, and the landlord verifies that, and they both sign that document saying that, yes, I charge that person this, and the tenant says, yes, I pay that.
Right.
It's called an estoppel agreement. Now, let me give you the dirty. People provide fake estoppel agreements all the time.
Do they?
All the time, right? And they'll inflate the numbers.
What is it? No me diga.
No me diga. So they'll inflate those numbers so that they can like substantiate the higher sale price, right? So there's time, and I don't want to create like I'm not trying to scare nobody, but what we do want to do is give reality though. So that's why you have to verify and talk to somebody who knows the market, knows the neighborhoods, knows properties. And if you talk to that person, you say, hey, I got a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom, multifamily, duplex, single family, triplex, 76-unit building in this neighborhood. And they should have it they should have an understanding of what rents typically should be like in these type of properties in these conditions, right? So if I tell you I have a property on 123 Jordan Avenue, that person, your boots on the ground, should understand what the rental market should be like on Jordan Avenue. So if I tell you the rent is $1,000, that person should say, on Jordan Avenue for 3-bedroom apartments, that's higher, that's low, or man, that should be way higher, or that's not even real. You know, they should be able to tell you that. Huge part, probably one of the most important parts about buying right and wrong. So we'll label point number 2 as story, right?
Because that's your money.
Point number 1 was numbers. Point number 2 is story.
I'll tell you this. I'll go on the other side and tell you, if you don't have the right lawyers, because you just Googled a lawyer and you thought that lawyer is going to take care of you. If there's tax liens on that property and they don't do the right information for you, you're going to have to pay Before that, you're going to have to pay the states. If there's a lien on that property, you do not have no ability to sell without paying them back first.
Yeah.
And you won't know that if you have a bullshit ass lawyer that does not do anything for your deed.
Yeah.
All he wants you to do is sign. You're going to have a good rude awakening.
Hopefully there's a contract in place where they will be responsible if they miss that. You see what I'm saying? So
which is a thing called title insurance.
Title insurance.
Which is a thing called, so we're gonna label Jerry. I appreciate you because you perfect segue. Point number 3, emphasis, your team. To bring it full circle, your team. Did I say team?
I don't think you said it. I don't think you said it enough.
So your team, right? And shameless plug at H.G.R.G, we offer all of the above, and then we are the check and balance system. If there was a point number 4, there's a checks and balance. That would be what point number 4 is, right? But your team, your lawyer, your attorneys, your realtors, your managers, and or your local plug, your contractors, your insurance, your home inspectors, like all of these people should be synonymous within each other, right? And you should be harmoniously be able to ask them all these questions, and all their answers should be like a symphony. It should be similar. It can't be this is 1 and the other person says this is 11. Something ain't right. You should ask, telling you something. Yeah, you should ask everybody the same questions, and you should get somewhat similar answers. And if you don't, we have a problem.
Absolutely.
So, 3 points to what we're talking about. 4, if you want a checks and balance system, kind of full circle with everything. But nevertheless, how can you buy wrong? I think we've justly done a good service for everybody. And I think this is a super important and relevant podcast episode that people should probably rewatch.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Stop thinking I got 30,000 in the bank to spend, and that's how you buy right if you stay within that 30,000.
Yeah, this is one of them ones that like there's so much information that we're giving away that this might not be a one watch episode.
Absolutely. I'll tell you this though. This is the end for me. I don't care. You guys don't like what I'm about to say. I'm going to tell you this first. When you buy wrong and you just bought it just to buy it, it's not a win. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not a win. You didn't say, you're not going to go around saying I have a property, I'm an investor, and I'm up.
Right.
One does not make you successful, but it could break you that you never come back in real estate again.
Right. That's a great point. It won't make you a successful.
Super valid.
But I tell you right now, it'll get you out of real estate real quick if you
100%
buy wrong.
That's super valid.
That's very true. That's very true. Listen, guys, I appreciate you too. The reality is we like to give both sides, and if you follow us, you know that we give the good, the bad, and the ugly. You guys gave your thoughts, and I appreciate that. I gave my thoughts. Make sure you guys, like you said, rewatch it. Understand what we're saying, and how to buy or what it looks like to buy wrong. And if you understand this, that means you understand how to buy right. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So if anything we said, you guys agree with, disagree with, you got added questions, like maybe we touched on something that you're like intrigued by, and maybe we didn't go on enough, comment. Talk to us. We talk back.
For sure. We appreciate you guys. From my mouth to your ears, we'll see you.
Subscribe, y'all.
Yeah. What they saying? I'm so divine. Perfection, my presence shines. My mental is parasailing maritime. They say I'm destined to read the palm line. Yeah, I'm so divine.